Hello everyone, good morning. Myself Murlidhar Reddy, I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect. Now we are going to discussing about what is Git, what are the advantages of using Git, what are the version control systems available, everything we can see that. And here we have a documentation, DevOps 0 to hero, day 6, and here we have a what is Git. And here I have written the documentation, we can see that. Coming to that first one, what is Git? Git is a distributed version control system. Using this particular Git, we can track the changes in code and also we can manage source code efficiency and enabling multiple developers to collaborate on project. Here you have to remember when you use Git, right? If you do any changes in the code, example, I made some changes. So we can track that particular information. Who done, when it was done, what exactly done, everything. And also it is mainly right, it helps maintain a history of changes, whatever who done everything, you can able to see that. And also in case something happen, if you want to be rollback, revert, we can revert the specific version as well if required. So this is one of the most uses, advantage using this particular Git. And here we have a multiple features available in the Git. We can see that first one is we can track changes in file efficiently. Okay, here what I said, like in whatever you did, any changes in the Git, the particular file, right? We can able to monitor that particular what exactly done, everything we can able to see it. And next one is it is support the multiple developers working simultaneously. It means like example, we have a 3 developers. If someone is clone the repository, myself I have cloned the repository, Suresh clone the repository, Naresh clone the repository, they can independently they can work on that one. It is not like dependent from one person to another person when you use the Git, because you can work in offline, that's why. And also as I said, we can maintain that, it is provided history of that particular all changes made in this particular project as well. And it will support that merging and branching and merging for better workflow management. Example, if you create any branch, new branch, if you want, once you are done that your work, if you want to be merged to main branch, you can do that one. It is giving more flexibility in Git. Understand, right? You can use in Git, you can do that. And coming to the workflow, work offline. As I said, like developer can commit the changes without any internet connection. They don't require any internet connection. They can work on it and they can do that. And coming to the advantages, there are a lot of advantages, guys. First one is open source and free. And here you have to remember Git completely free to use and also open source as well. That's why majority of the developers, they are using the Git only. So using Git, you can manage, example, if you want to be add any file, if you want to be commit changes anything, right? If you need to be add, commit, everything can do that. And next one, flexibility. This particular Git, you can use either smaller organizations, smaller project, or personal projects, or you can also use that enterprise applications for this particular one. It is suitable for the particular either smaller or a larger scale enterprise applications. Anyone can use it. And coming to the security wise, right? It Git uses the SHA-1. It means the secure hash algorithm to protect the integrity of code base. Whatever code base, right? It will be protect. And this particular SHA-1, it will prevent malicious code alterations. Alterations means if you this malicious, it won't be. If anything they wanted to do any modification, they can't, because it is more secure. Okay, here you can see that to prevent malicious code alterations. Understand, right? Fine. And coming to the cross-platform support, here this particular Git we can install either in the Linux, Windows, Mac. The functionality is same only. It is supporting for any of the operating system. Example, sometimes some of the developer, they may got Windows laptop, they may got Linux, they wanted to work on, they may wanted to work on Mac OS. So this is Git is suitable for that particular one as well. Next one, branching and merging. This particular Git support the lightweight branching and allow developers to work on multiple features independently. We don't have any dependency. The reason example I can say, if you have a 3 developers, one developer they are working on login page, another developer they are working on courses related one, another developer they are working on payment gateway related one. Example, here you can see the courses related home page, everything. Then what you can do, right? They can create a separate feature branch, they can work on it, everything independent only. And once feature is completed, everything is deployed in the lower environment, what you can do, that we can merge it to back to to the main branch, whatever main project, right? We can do that. Now, next one, types of version control systems. And I hope understand it, advantages, why, what are the advantages? But now here, most important, you need to be understand types of version control systems. Here we have different types of version control systems. One is local version control system. Local version control system means your whatever data, right? You will store versions on the local machine. Local machine means my laptop. Example, RCS, revision control system. This particular local version control system, we won't be using. You can ignore this one. Understand, right? Next one, centralized version control system. Centralized version control system. Coming to the centralized version control system, we can call it as a CVCS. And here, a single central server manages all versions. It means we'll be having the server, there will be stored the data and everything, all the versions will be maintained. Next one, developers work with central repository over the network. Here, when you use this particular central version control system, you can't work on your local. You should require the networking. So that's the reason your developer needs to be work with the central repository over the network only. Next one, the main disadvantage of using if you use the central version control system, if the server crash, something happens, server is not accessible. It means all data may be lost. If you delete the particular server, you lose entire data until unless if you have any backup. Understand, right? Fine. And example, this particular centralized version control system will be having SVN subversion and team foundation server. Here you have to remember, guys, SVN, it is older one, outdated one, but TFS is recently came. This TFS, maintained by Microsoft Teams only, Microsoft Team. Understand, right? Fine. Next one of the most important, distributed version control system. We can call it as a DVCS. And easy developer has complete copy of the repository. Example, they have cloned the repository. They have their own, copy of the particular repository. They can work on it. It is not like code is not dependent on central server. You can work on your local. You don't depend on any server, central server. And also fast, performance wise also fast, and also better collaboration. You can directly collaborate with someone, other one. And also, as I said earlier, we can also create the different feature branches without any dependent everything. Example, you can see it Git. And remember here you have to remember this particular distribution version control system, 99.99% we always use the Git only. Remember, this is a version control system, but we do have remote repositories, that is, we can call it as a GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. We do have. Understand, right? These are the version control system. But again, I'm telling distribution version control system only, that is Git will be using. We won't be used much on the SVN and also TFS. Remember. Next one, comparison. When we see the comparison, right? First one is speed wise. If you see, Git is more fast because it is not depending on any networking, right? You can work on your local. But SVN and TFS, if you want to do any modification, everything, you should be required the networking over the internet on network only. It will be work. Next one is branching. Branching, here you can see that Git, it is more easy and cheap. It is not much cost, and also when you set up the branching related one, little bit difficult in the SVN TFS part. And next one, offline work. This particular Git we can work on offline because it is not any depending on central server. That's why no. And SVN and TFS it require the centralized server. And coming to the security wise, right? Git is more secure. The reason we are using high SSH1 encryption. And when it comes to the SVN TFS, it is a little bit medium. It is not like high. And coming to that, Git, it will be used for GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and SVN we are using for some legacy project. But still, we are not using SVN. You can ignore it, even if you are not, you don't require to spend much time on SVN part. And TFS, right? Some of the organization they may using, okay, especially this particular Microsoft team, they have built this particular TFS, Team Foundation server. Understand, right? And finally, coming to that, why Git over SVN and TFS? First, as I said, it is fast, more secure, and also support distributed development. And next one, Git allows offline work, but when compared to the SVN TFS, right, it requires the network connections. And Git branching and merging capabilities are more advanced compared to SVN TFS. So this is the theory part. What is Git and what are the features available? What are the advantages of using Git? And also you can see the types of version control system, everything. Any questions now here? So now you understood, right? What exactly Git, where exactly will be use it. Remember, Git is a version control system. If you want, you can manage your repositories. You can use the Git only. The repository is available in remote. Example, we can store, we can create the repositories in the GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. Later, I will show you how do we create the repository and how do we push from local to remote and everything. I can show you later sometime. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about installing Git on Linux server. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right here, I already created the Amazon Linux server. If you observe here, this is our Amazon Linux server 2023. Okay. Now I already connected the particular server, Linux server. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the Git. How do we do? For that one, you can use minstall git install git, and here you already aware, right? Install git. If you give the -y, it won't ask yes or no option. If you won't be if you are not giving -y, it will ask yes or no option. Here I'm giving that install git. Now you can enter here. If you see here, it is installing the git. The latest version is 2.47.1, and also the particular git related dependencies also it is going to be installed. Understand, right? Now here it is asking yes or no option. If you give the y, it will be install. N means it will be cancelled. Now I'm giving that here y. If you give the y, if you see here, it is installing git on that particular dependencies as well. And here it is installation completed. Now what you have to do? Now you can go here. I'm going to check it whether git is installed or not. For that one, you can give it here git -version. Git -version. If you see here, once we give that git -version, and here we can see that git version, the specific version. Now you understood, right? So this is the process of installing Git on Amazon Linux server. And also you can go to the Google. Now you can type it here, Git install on Linux, and here you can get it download for Linux and Unix. And here most important thing, guys, if it is a Ubuntu or Debian, we need to use the apt-get command. If it is Amazon Linux or CentOS, Red Hat, right, we can use it install command. Understand, right? We can use it install command. Similarly, we did for Amazon Linux 2 and Amazon Linux 2023. We can use command. That's why I have used command to install the Git, and I have verified this one as well. Later sometime I will also show you how do we install the Git on Ubuntu as well, so that you will get some idea. Clear, right? Any questions? And here you may ask question, Murli, which situation we require that Git needs to be installed in the Linux server? Usually, when you are integrated with the Jenkins, we have a master slave node concept. In the slave node, okay, if you are using Linux related one, slave nodes, what we can do, right? In the slave node, we need to be install the Git, because when you are running the Jenkins job, the specific slave node, when you are cloning the specific repository, first we need to be install the Git. That's why Git is mandatory to install. So that's why I have showcased that how do we install the Linux as well. And also I will show you Windows and also Ubuntu as well later sometime, so that you will get some idea. Clear, right? Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about installing Git on Ubuntu. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, here first thing I already created the Ubuntu server, that is Ubuntu 2022. If you see here, the Ubuntu 2022 I have installed. So now what we are going to do, we are going to be install the Git in this particular Ubuntu server. Clear, right? So for that one, first what you have to do, you need to connect the particular Ubuntu server. Now you can copy the public IP address. Usually in real time, we'll be accessing using private IP only. After we connected either client VPN, AWS client VPN, or Cisco. Example I'm telling. Okay. Now you can copy this public IP. Go here. My PEM file. What is the PEM file here? If you see here, our PEM file is this one, infra PEM file. Okay. Now what I'm going to do? SSH-i infra.pem. Infra.pem is available in the downloads folder. That's why I'm giving here. Here, most important, guys, Ubuntu, the username is Ubuntu. Okay. For Amazon Linux related one, the username is EC2-user. But when it comes to the Ubuntu, the username is Ubuntu @ the public IP address or private IP address. Again, I'm repeating SSH-i. You have to provide your PEM file, Ubuntu @ the specific public or private IP. Now you can enter. Now here, what will happen, right? It will be connect to the connect to the Ubuntu server. If you see here, it is a Ubuntu address, the specific IP address, private IP address. Clear, right? Once you connected, you can see that that is the private IP address, and here it will give that information about that particular Ubuntu. Which Ubuntu server we are using? That is 22.04.5 LTS version. System load, how much, everything you can see it here. Clear. Now you can go to the root user. For that one, sudo su-. Remember, in case if you are not aware the sudo commands, su command, everything, please have a look our Linux course. I already covered everything Linux related one. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, we need to install the Ubuntu. You need to install the Git in the Ubuntu server. For that one, you can go to the documentation. Earlier we already opened, right? And here you can see that apt get install Git. You can use this command, or apt install Git. You can use it. Anything is fine. Example I'm giving here, apt install. What is the package name? Package name we are giving that Git. Now we can enter. Now what will happen, right? It will be install the Git, but in our case, right, in the Ubuntu server, by default, it is already installed. That's why it is showcasing that Git is already installed the specific version, that is 2.34.1. Understand, right? In the Ubuntu server, that is the latest version. It is already installed. Now you can check it here, Git -- version. If you give the Git -- version, and here you can see the specific Git version is already installed. Understand, right? Remember one thing, in Ubuntu, in Amazon Linux, in Windows Server, Git versions might be different, so it won't be causing an issue. And also in real time also, we can use the latest Git version also. It is fine. Okay, we don't want to worry on that to install the specific version. Latest version also it is fine, because this Git version, we don't have any dependency for other applications or other tools. Understand, right? That's why you can install the latest version as well. Clear, right? Any questions? Again, I'm repeating. I have showcased install in the Amazon Linux, that is using m command, and Ubuntu also I have showcased using apt get command, apt command. But the thing is, in Ubuntu it is already installed. That's why it is showcasing that the specific Git is already installed, and I have verified the Git is also installed. It. Any questions now here? Any questions? Now we are going to discussing about installing Git on Windows. Let's see the demo so that you will get some idea. So here we have a GitHub Zerotohero series, day 6. I already written the documentation, installation steps. So we can see the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right, first you need to be go to that Git bash download. You can just type it, go to the Google and type it Git bash download. And here you can see that git-scm.com. Now you can click this one. And here you can see that for Mac OS, Windows, Linux. In our case, Windows, right? Now just click this Windows. And here you can see that the latest version is 2.49.0. Here you have to remember, guys, you can install latest version also, it is fine. It won't be cause any issue. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to install this one. But here we have two types, guys. One is 32-bit, second one is 64-bit. But in our case, our laptop is 64-bit. How do we identify? Go to this PC, go to the properties, and then here you can see that whether your system is 64-bit or 32-bit. Here you can see that our system is 64-bit. 99% of your laptops are 64-bit only. So what you can do, right? You can go here and you can download this one. Once you click this one, and here it will be download in download folder. Now you can go here in download folder, and here you can see that currently it is downloading. Wait for a few seconds so that it will be complete. Understand, right? Still it is going on. Okay. Now if you see here, it is downloaded. That is the particular Git bash related one downloaded. Now what you have to do, just double click this one. When you double click this one, right, it will be open here. Now it is asking yes or no option. It may not be showcase you. It may not be visible. So now what you can do, you can click that yes. Now it is opening the particular installation steps. Now you can click next. And remember, guys, 99% of any of the application, whatever you are going to be installing, right? Example, Git, Tomcat, anything. Okay, it will be download default in the C drive programs files. In case if you want to be change it, you can change browse, and you can change different path. But usually C drive is fine. Just click next and click next, 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 next. Everything next, guys. You don't require to do anything next. Okay. Next, install. Just click install. Okay. Now, once you click install, right, whatever necessary Git related one, it is going to be download inside the C drive, programs files, and the Git directory. Understand, right? It may take 1 minute approximately. We can wait for the particular time. Meanwhile, right, what we can do, we can go to that this PC and go to the C drive and go to the program files, and here you can see the Git, and here you can see the bin directory. It is downloaded the particular Git related one. Okay, now clear. Now you don't require to set up any environment variable, guys. It is automatically set up when you install the Git bash. Now it is going to be installed again. It is going to be installed. We can wait for 30 seconds again, so that it will be complete this particular one. Understand, right? Any questions? First, what we did, we have downloaded, we have just clicked that, and it is asking yes or no option. Just click yes, and it will next. It is going to be installed. Now, if you see here, installation is completed. If you require readme notes, you can click this one. Otherwise, you can uncheck. You can click finish. Now, here you may ask question whether it is installed or not. How do we verify? So there are two options, guys. Here you can type it git bash in search box, and here you can see that git bash is available. Second option, right? You can go any location. Example, I'm in the directory desktop location. Now you can right click, and here you can click show more options, and here you can see, right, git bash or git GUI. It means our git is installed. Usually if you want to be open, you can select that git bash here. Now it will be open in the desktop directory. Okay, desktop folder. Now here you can see that I'm in the desktop folder. Remember, this particular git bash, almost Linux related commands will work, basic command. So if you want to be do anything, you can do it here. Example, you can use pwd, present working directory. Currently I'm in the C drive, users, my username is mmred, and OneDrive and desktop. Inside the desktop, I'm here. Understand, right? Any questions? You can also give lsfnl. It will be display the particular whatever files or directories available in the current directory. It is displaying here. Current directory means in this particular desktop directory, these are the files or directories available. Understand, right? Any questions now? Any questions? This is the process of installing git bash. So now we have installation done, and we are ready for that discussing further git related topics. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about Git workflow. So first you need to be understand Git workflow. In Git, right, we have a different options. One is working directory. Second one is staging area or index area. Third one is local repository. Fourth one is remote repository. Remote repository is nothing but either GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. We can call it as a remote repository. Now in Git workflow, when you create any file or directory in the specific Git repository, so now first it will be available in the working directory. From working directory to staging area, we need to move. Then what you have to do, you need to use the git add command. When you use this git add command, whatever we have a working directory, so it will be moved to staging area or index area. Understand, right? From staging area or index area to local repository, then what you have to do, here we need to use git commit command. What you have to do, you need to use the git commit command. When you use git commit command, whatever we have a staging area, files or directories, it will move to local repository. Now here you have to remember, when you use git status command, we can see whether you are in working directory, whether you are in staging area, whether you are in local repository, you can able to identify. So once you've done this local repository, in case if you want to be pushed from local to remote repository, what you have to do? We need to use the git push command. What you have to do? We need to use the git push command. Once you use git push command, right, whatever we have a local repository, it will be pushed to remote repository, whatever we have in the GitHub, GitLab or Bitbucket. There it will be push everything, and we have to define the authentication details. It will be pushed there. Fine. Now, in case if you want to be pull from remote repository to local, example, you have created that GitHub repository in the GitHub, Git repository in the GitHub. Now you need to you need to clone that particular repository. You need to be pull that particular data, whatever latest data you need to be pull it. What you can do, you can use the git pull command. When you use git pull command, currently in your local we have a repository, but you made some changes in the remote repository. You need to pull specific data from the specific repository. What you can do, you can use git pull command. It will pull everything from remote to local. Understand, right? So this is the diagram. Now what you can see, we can see the demo so that you will get some idea. For that one, you can go to the desktop. Currently, I'm in the desktop folder. Now I'm going to open the Git bash here. Now you can go here, show more options, and Git bash here. Now here I'm in the desktop folder. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a one directory. There we can do the Git workflow related of things. Okay. Now here you can go here, mkdir. I'm giving example DevOps-project. Example I'm giving, guys. You can give any name, DevOps-project. Now you can enter. Now if you see here ll command, and here you can see that DevOps-project folder is created. Now you can go here, DevOps-project folder. Now I'm in the DevOps-folder project. If you see here, I'm in the DevOps-project folder. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the git status command. What git status command will do, whatever I have explained here, right? Whatever I have explained here, this particular workflow, you can able to identify whether you are in working directory, whether you are in a staging area, whether you are in local repository. We can easy to identify using git status command. Now if you see here, I'm in the DevOps-project folder. I'm running this particular git status command. Now you can enter here. When you run this particular git status command, here you are seeing that fatal error. The reason when you are running any git related commands in your current directory, wherever you are running that particular git related commands in your current directory, the particular .git directory should be exist. .git directory should be exist. Understand that? If you see here LSF and LA, it will be displayed that hidden files, right? In this particular one, we don't have any .git directory. That's why it is throwing the error when you are running git status command. Understand? Or any understand? Clear, right? Now, if you want to be when you create any folder, right? First, what you have to do, you can use git init command. When you run this particular git init command, it will be initialize that particular empty git repository. If you see here, now it is created the .git directory. If you go and check it LSF and LA, and here you can see that .git directory is created. Remember, inside the .git directory only, whatever we have, we are going to be run all the git related command, it will work. Understand, right? Now if you go here, .git directory. Okay, now here you can give it ll command, and here you can see that everything config, info, objects, references, everything you can able to see it here. Okay, fine. Now you can come back one step. Now what you have to do? Now I'm in, now I'm in this particular one. When you initialize, right, if you open git bash and when you do that git init command, it is generated the .git directory. Here you can also see the master branch. This is the branch. Master is nothing but branch name, guys. We can discuss more on branching related one later sometime. Fine. Now we have created, that is fine. Now I'm checking here. Now I'm checking git status command. If you see here, when I run this particular git status command, it is showing that what is the branch name. Currently I'm in the master branch and no commit yet. Now we haven't done any commits, right? That's why it is showing that no commits yet, nothing to commit. Everything it is displaying. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the file. Here I'm giving the touch command. Example, I'm creating M1 file. In real time, we'll be having that .java files, everything. Just you have to be understand concept. That's why just I'm creating that M1 file. Now you can enter here. Now if you see here, git status command. Now if you see here, when you see this particular message, guys, untracked files is nothing but you are currently the whatever untracked files you are seeing that M1 file, right? This particular M1 file, it is available in the working directory. Where it is available? It is available in the working directory. Here you have to remember, when you create any new file or directory, by default it is available in the working directory only. How do we identify? When you run this particular git status command, when you see this particular message, untracked files, that is a M1 example, untracked files M1, it will be displayed here. This currently you are in the working directory. Understand, right? From working directory to working directory to staging area, we need to move it. How do we do? For that one, you need to use the git add command. You have to use the git add command so that whatever we have a current directory, it will be moved to staging area. Now you can go here. I'm running here git add, and here you have to remember, if you give dot, right, what will happen? Git space add dot means currently we have only one file. M1 file is available in untagged files. If we have a multiple example M2, M3, M4, some other files are directories, right? So whatever we have, everything it will be moved from working directory to staging area. In case if you want to be move specific file or directory, right? Now what you can do, just you need to give the specific file or directory you have to mention. But in my case, right, currently I'm going to give it dot. Later part I will show you specific file. How do we move it? Everything I can show you. Now you can enter. If you see here, now you can use this git status command. Here you can see that. Remember, when you see this message changes to be committed, it means whatever we have this particular files or directories, it is available in the staging area. Understand, right? Again, I'm repeating. When you run this particular git add dot means current directory, whatever we have a working directory files, right? It will be moved to change staging area. Staging area, it is showing that changes to be committed message means it is staging area only. Understand, right? Any questions now? Fine. Now here you can see that new file M1. Now what I said, right? Here, when you use this git add command, it is going to the staging area. Now from staging area to local, we need to do that. For that one, you can use git commit message, commit command. So here you have to remember, I'm giving here git status, whatever we have a staging area. Currently we have a staging area, this particular M1 file, right? So whatever we have a staging area, when we use this particular command git commit -m, -m is nothing but message, double quotation. Here I'm giving that M1 file is created. M1 file is created. Understand, right? Git commit -m message, and here you need to be provide the commit message. This is the one of the most important, guys. Depends on this one only. They can our team can any team can understand easily. Okay, this commit, whatever he's going to do the commit, the particular commit he's created only M1 file. Example, if you modify anything, right, inside the M1 file, if you added something, yeah, here you can write it M1 added the DB related credentials inside the M1 file. Example, we need to mention that commit message. Okay, commit message is more important. Depends on this commit message, we can easily identify what exactly did in this particular commit. Understand, right? Now you can enter. When you do this particular git commit -m, the particular whatever commit message, here it is showing that master branch. Yes, it will create the one commit ID, that is we can call it as a SHA code. It is contain the 40 characters. Remember, commit message is 40 characters, but it is here it is displaying only few characters only. Later sometime I will show you how do we check how many commit messages we have. Everything I will show you later sometime. Understand, right? Clear, right? Any questions now? Any question here? Fine. And here you can see that one file is changed and 0 instructions. It means inside the file, if you do any modification, add or remove, right, then it will be displayed. If it is added, it will showcase that one insertions. Deletions means it is deleted minus. Okay, and here you can see the created mode, the particular one. Any questions now? Any questions? Now here we have created well and good. Now we need to see this particular message. Now here you can go with git status command, and here you can see that currently it is showing that nothing to commit, working tree clean. It means nothing to commit, working tree clean. When you see this message, right, it means whatever we have a files or directories, everything is available in the local repository. If you see here ll command, if we give the ll command, currently we have a M1 file. M1 file is available in the local repository. Here you have to remember, guys, when you use the touch command M1 file is available here only. But in Git, we have a workflow. One is working directory, second one is staging area or index area, third one is local repository. When you use this particular git status command, when you see this particular message, nothing to commit, working tree clean, it means that's whatever we did, right, everything is available in the local repository. Understand, right? Local repository. These are the workflow. We can also see it later, git push and git pull command, but we need to understand first these three so that we will get some idea. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to showcase another example here. Now I'm giving here mkdir. Okay, mkdir. and here you can, I'm giving the script. Okay, now here you can give it ll command script to directory. I'm going to insert the script directory. Here I'm creating the file touch command start.sh. Example, guys, I'm just creating the empty files, everything. Okay. Now, if you see here, PWD currently in the project DevOps icon project script, and here you can give it inside the script. We have a startup start.sh. Now you can come back one step, and then here I'm creating another touch command R1 Y1. Okay, R1 Y1. Now you can see here LL command, and here you can see that script directory is created, and also R1 and Y1 files also created. Now you can check it git status command, and here you can see that one is R1. Here you are seeing that untracked files. Untracked files is nothing but whatever we have a R1 script directory and Y1, all are having inside the working directory. When you see these particular untracked files. Now here we have a all whatever we created recently, everything is in the working directory, but I need to move working to staging area only this particular Y1 file or script directory or R1 file. How do we do? For that one, what you can do, you can give it here git add, and here you can give it R1. Example, I wanted to do only R1 and Y1. These two files I need to move from working directory to staging area. Working directory to staging area. Now you can run it. Remember, if you give dot, everything, whatever we have a files or directories in the working directory, it will move from working to staging area. But here, I don't want to be, currently I don't want to be move from working to staging area, this particular directory, script directory. Then what you can do, you can give it git add, and you can give it files or directories, whatever you are going to be move from working directory to staging area. Understand that? Now you can enter. When you run this particular one, here you can see that still it is created, the files are directories created, but when you use this particular git status command, if you observe here, changes to be committed, the particular new file R1, new file Y1. These two files are available in the staging area or index area. Again, I'm repeating, I use git add specific files. I have mentioned, it means whatever I have mentioned the specific files, those files it will be moved from working to staging area. Still we haven't declared git add command the specific directory, right? That's why it is showcasing here untracked files. Inside the untracked files, still it is showcasing that script directory. It is still available in the working directory only, because we haven't added using git add command, right? That's why. Any questions here? Understood, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it here git commit -m. Git commit means it will be commit the changes from work staging area to local. Here you have to remember, when you use this particular git commit command, whatever we have a staging area or index area, those only it will go to local repository. Whatever we have a staging area, right? When you use this git commit command, the specific one, it will move to local repository. Here you can see that git commit -m, and here you have to give the message. Here you can give it added the R1 and Y1 file. Okay. Now here you can enter. Now you can here enter. If you see here, total we have 2 files change, and here you can say 0 insertions, 0 deletions, because we haven't added anything. And here it is generated the commit message. This is, we can call it as a shortcode. Here we have a 40 characters. Understand that? Now here you can see that git status command. When you use this particular git status command, here you have to be understand. As I said, whatever we have changes to be committed, it will be moved to local repository. But still untracked files is there, because when you use this git commit command, whatever we have a staging area or index area, files are directories only, it will be moved to local repository. Whatever we have a untracked files, it means local working directory one, it won't be moved to local when you use the git commit command. Understand, right? That's why still we have a script directory. Any questions here now? Any questions? The particular script directory? Okay, super awesome. Now here very good. Now we done that. We can see that specific one. Now here we are giving the git add command one time, and then we are giving git command second time, right? Instead of that one, I wanted to run both commands at a time. It means whatever we have a working directory, files or directories, it needs to be moved from working to staging area and staging to local using single command. Okay, at a time. How do we do? Example, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create here touch command s1. S1 file is created. If you see here, S1 file is created. Now I'm giving here git status command. Now here you can see that untracked files is, it means S1 and script directory we have available in the working directory. Now usually what we will do, we'll be use that git add command dot, and then we'll be run that git commit command, right? Instead of running two commands two different ways, what you can do, single command, we can run it both. We can declare how can we do git dot. It means git add dot. It means whatever you have a working directory, it will be moved to staging area. Now you can give it and means you can run it another command in the same line, and then here you can give it git commit -m double quotation. If you see here, git commit -m, git commit -m. M is nothing but message, guys. Here you need to be add the messages, add the files and directory. Okay, understand that? Here what this command will do, first command, it will move from working to staging area, whatever we have a S1 file and the script directory. Okay, and then and means it is running another command. Once this particular command is completed, we are going to be running another command, that is git commit -m, the particular one. If you are confident, then only you can run it both commands in the single, okay, single at a time. Otherwise, you can use git add command, and you can verify that git status, what are the files or directories moved, and then git commit as well. Understand, right? Now you can enter. Now if you see here, it is created that particular commit ID and two files are changed. That is fine. 0 insertions, 0 deletions. Now you can go here, get status command, and here you can see that nothing to commit, working tree clean. Okay, super. Now what I'm going to do, I want to show you one more thing. VIM M1 file. I'm going to open the M1 file, and then here insert mode, and here I'm giving that hello M1 file. Okay, now you can save it. Escape, shift to :W. Similarly, guys, we did for Linux level, right? Same thing only. If you see here in M1 file, now you can use the cat command M1. Now here you can see that hello M1 file. Now, if you go and do this git status command, if you see here, what is it is showing that. Remember, when you do this particular one, modify this one, changes not staged for commit. Now, here what you have to do, first you need to do the git add command, and then you can do the git commit command as well. Now, what I'm going to do, now here you can give it git add command and then dot. Now you can enter. Now, if you see here, it is warning that particular one. That is fine. You can ignore this particular one error. Now you can do that. When you do that git add command, you can check the git status. If you see here, now it is showing that changes to be committed. Understand, right? If you modify anything, it is showing that changes not staged for commit. Then what you have to do, first you can do the git add command. When you do the git add command, whatever we have this particular M1, right, modified this particular one, it is showcasing that changes to be committed. It means now we can move from staging to local repository using git commit command. Understand, right? Now if you go here, first you can run this particular git status, and here I'm giving that git, what is that? Git commit -m, and here most -m, guys. Here most important, guys, here you need to give that properly updated the M1 file, because we have updated, right? That's why I'm giving that updated the M1 file. Now you can enter. If you see here, commit message is generated, that is fine. And here it is one file change, that one insertion, because we have added, right? We have added the particular one, hello M1 file. That's why it is showing that one insertion. Understand, right? That's why you wanted to understand, even if you modify how exactly happen. That's why I have showcased this particular command as well. Understand? Any questions now? Fine. Now here you are seeing that commit message, everything's fine, awesome. Now we need to be verify it. We need to be verify what are the we did a lot of commit messages, right? We need to be verify commit messages, everything. So then what you can do, now you can give it git space log command. When you use this particular git space log command, it will be display that all the commit messages related with commit ID. This, as I said, right, this is a 40 characters. and head is master. It means this your commit, latest commit is master branch. That's why. And here you can see that author, that this is my name, Mole Muralidhar Reddy. This is my email ID. Understand, right? Here I already set up very long back. And also when you join any of the organization, you will get that laptop, right? Then you don't require to, I mean, you can also, when you do any modification, it will be display your name only, your name and your mail ID. And in case if you want to be set up a specific username and mail ID, we can do that later sometime. I will show you. And here you can see that when you did and what is the date, exact time. And here you can see that we gave that commit message, right? And here you can see the specific commit message as well. Understand? Any questions now? Okay, this commits whatever we did, everything you can able to see it. Now here it is giving in detail, right? I need only one line commit message. I don't want to be this date and what exactly, who is the author, everything we don't require. I need only one line commit message. I want it to be displayed. How do we do? For that one, you can give it git log hyphen one line. Hyphen one line. Now you can enter. If you see here, when you run this particular git log hyphen one line, here it is displaying this commit message, commit ID, and here you can see the head, it is a master branch and whatever commit message. Here it is not displaying 40 characters of that commit ID, and also it is not displaying any when it was done that particular commit, everything. Understand, right? We can use git log hyphen one line. Any questions? Any questions? This is the one of the most important in the interview level as well. Hey Murli, can you please explain Git workflow? How do you do? What is the when you run that git add command, what will happen? When you do that git commit command, what will happen? How do we run single command? How do we run move from working to staging to local? What is the command? Can you please explain? And also how do we check that commit messages in your local? Everything. One of the most important. If you're not, if you say like I'm not aware of Git workflow, they can easy to identify. Okay, this guy is not working in the real time. The reason we frequently, not only example, if you are writing any Terraform script, what you will do first, you will clone the repository, we can add whatever data content, and you need to be added, run that git add commit command, right? So that's why it is mandatory. Any questions now? Now we are going to discussing about working with git init and git config command. Let's say the demo so that you will get some idea. So for that one, right here we have a devopszerotohero day 6 git and working with git init and git config command. So I will write the documentation and I can update here, and we can see the demo so that we will get some idea. Here you have to remember, if you remember when you created the DevOps project, we did that git init command. Understand, right? So we did git init command. Init command means it will be initialize. Initialize means it will be create the .git directory. If you see here, when you are created any folder or directory, if you want to be work any git related command, first you have to do the git init command. When you do the git init command, it is generated .git directory. Then you can run it git related anything inside this particular DevOps project. Here you have to remember, guys, when you do that git init command in the specific directory, example we did in the DevOps project, right? So the particular git related commands, I mean, when you do that git init command, it will be generate the .git directory. Then you can use the git related command. But if you go outside, now I'm back to the desktop directory. Now here you can give it git status command. Here it is showing that .git directory doesn't exist, not available. The reason when you do that git init command, this is specific to DevOps project folder only. Now, if you want to be run it again, git status command in the different folder, right? Then what you have to do, you need to do again git init command. Then you can run it git related commands. Understand, right? I already showcased that git init initially, Git workflow concept. I hope you understood that particular concept. Okay. Now, what is the next one? Next one is git config command. What git config command will do? So in case if you want to be set any username mail ID for this particular git related one, you can do that. What is that? You can do the git config command. Using git config command, we can do that. Example, if you see here, td devops project. Now here, I'm going to check that git log command. And here you can see that here it is showing that author is Mole Muralidhar Reddy and mail ID is techworldwithmurali@gmail.com. Okay. Now we have mentioned this particular author details. Now, what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to change Mule Muralidhar Reddy to example Murli. I wanted to change from Mule Muralidhar Reddy to Murli only. Then how do we change? I wanted to change the mail ID as well, in case if you want to be. How do we do? For that one, if you go here, git config, okay, git config -- global. Remember, -- global means it will change global level, and here can give it user dot name, and here I'm giving the double quotation Murli. If you see here, double quotation Murli. Now you can enter here. Now we set that particular username is Murli. Now what I'm going to do, similarly, git config -- global user dot email. Okay, now I can give it double quotation. Example, tech@gmail.com. Example, guys, I'm giving that tech@gmail.com. Okay, now or else just give it something tech some number. Okay, now we have mentioned this particular one. Now you can enter. Now we have done this particular two. Now here you may ask question, Murli, you said that particular username and mail ID, right? Now if you go and check it, this particular git log command, okay, now still you are seeing that commit message author is Muralidhar Reddy and mail ID this one only, but it is not changed. Here you have to remember, guys, when you set this particular specific username and email, right? Whatever Gmail email, okay. Now what you have to do, if you do any new commits, then only it will be changed. Then only new commits will be, it will be display author Murli and mail ID, that is tech524@gmail.com. Understand, right? Existing one, author and this one, it won't be changed default. When you set this particular username and Gmail, that particular email. Now what I'm going to do, here you can go here. First I'm creating one file. I can show you search command, and here I'm giving that Sunil. I have created the Sunil file, and here you can see that LL command. Sunil's file is created. Now here you can give it git status command, and here you can see that currently it is showing that untracked files. Untracked files means the files whatever we have read, Sunil file is available in the working directory. Now what I'm going to do, I'm giving git add dot, and I'm running single command only, guys. I don't want to be run two commands separately. Git commit -m and double quotation added the Sunil file. Okay, now we have did that one. Now it is added. That is fine. Super. Now if you go here, if you go and check it in the git log command, if you see here, now it is changed to Murali, and then the particular one mail ID is also changed. It means after you set that particular username and email, then if you do any new commits, it will be coming with a new author name and mail ID. Understand, right? If you want to be change it, you can do that. Usually this is the intro level question. Hey, how do we set that username and email in Git? You can use git config -- global user.name, user.email, you can give it. Okay, but in the reality, when you join any organization, you will get that laptop. Okay, then what will happen, right? The particular laptop username and email ID automatically it will be set to this particular commit message. You don't require to, especially you don't require to set up any mail ID and name. Understand, right? But interview level very most important. That's why I have covered that particular topic. Any questions now? If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. And also we have a Tech World with Murali website. In this website, I already publish all the DevOps related courses. DevOps, AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, AWS networking, DevOps hands-on project Helm, and also logging and monitoring. Here we have a 1 month, 6 months, 1 year plans available. If you want, you can enroll here. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn, Instagram, Telegram. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next video.